kill. You don't believe it, but I'm betting that you will. I'll let you live a little bit with the pain and the brain. You know it's only the beginning. Stop breaking, living in inside you. Stop making some monster hide you. I'm breaking, living inside you. Stop making some monster hide you. I'm breaking, living inside you. Stop making some monster.
Well, welcome everyone to the Total Nonstop Podcast, brought to you by Pinfall Productions. Let me go ahead and bring on my co-host, Mr. Gene Emerson, or for a little bit of the y'all that don't know, this is Mr. Gene. I always got to give Gene a hard time. And, of course, everyone knows that for our man that is not right now currently around right now for Pinfall Productions because of life, we have to give our salute to the
Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Mr. Bayou Jax, the average American. We'll be waiting for your return. All right, Gene, go ahead and move along. We're going to go ahead and cover the draft. I put it to a vote. The draft got the most votes for what to cover this week, which was shocking. It beat out some really interesting shows, and I was kind of shocked about that. But apparently everybody was interested in the draft, so
let's talk about the draft. That's what we're here to do. So basically, I got it here, 3 pages of lovely information, and we're gonna kick her off. We're gonna start off in Raw. I don't have them now. Please don't shoot us. I don't have them as like the date they were drafted and what day and who was all drafted. I just got it as a list.
Was that on CBS?
Yes.
Did it tell you on CBS?
I think later on down the line it did, and I was just at this point I had written them all down, and I was just like, I'm not going to put the dates in.
1 second. Let me see if I can pull up something right here.
Yep.
Might give us a little bit of more inside if I got a little bit.
Yep.
Maybe. Let's see. Go ahead, Gene. Keep talking.
Okay. No problem. So, as we can already tell, Raw did well. They have 22 single competitors, male competitors. I'll list them off here. Starting off, so we had for the men at number 1. I do know that this was number 1 draft pick. I know Roman and Drew McIntyre were the 2 number 1 draft.
This was Fridays. This was day 1, Friday, October the 9th.
Yeah. So for Raw, for the men, we have Drew McIntyre, WWE champion. We have Bobby Lashley is now still on Raw. He's the United States champion.
Yeah, they're not going to split up that Hurt business.
No.
Hurt business is money right now. They're not going to split this shit up.
Yeah. Also, Raw's got R-Truth, the 24/7 champion. Yeah. Yeah. They also got Raw also got AJ Styles. They got the Fiend Bray Wyatt. They got.
Let's talk about AJ Styles for a second, okay?
Yep.
Let's see. Who could he possibly be having a nice rivalry with over there?
Well, right now where they got AJ Styles, if you remember correctly, coming out of, let's say, SmackDown, he has been in with that Intercontinental picture. So I would say possibly he'd be a good matchup for Bobby Lashley. Like right now, Bobby hasn't really had any stiff competition yet to that United States Championship, and I think that'd be your best way of going about it. I think that's why Raw drafted a guy like AJ Styles, unless the WWE is trying to make it so that it goes into a feud with Drew McIntyre after Randy Orton. That, you know what I mean? What are you going to do with AJ Styles? AJ's not going to stay. You're either going to keep him in the United States title picture or you're going to keep him in the heavyweight title picture. He's never going to be below that. You're not going to put him in like a tag team with somebody to go for tag team titles. So you're going to keep his interests happy if you want to keep him around, right? That's the name of the game with AJ Styles. AJ Styles.
Me personally, I don't think he's got many more years left in him. I think he's about done, if you ask me.
Yeah. And
just from like the interviews I've seen from him, like all the
Mhm.
family time he's missing and stuff, like he just really gives the vibe that he's just trying to get them dollars from WWE, and then he's cutting, So
yeah. From my understanding, from a standing point, even from some of the interviews with AJ Styles, he's more like saying, he's on his last few lates. He knows that he's getting that money, and then he'd like to just work at the performance center, helping guys and giving them style and what material he knows. So I think it would be perfect for the WWE. I think that'd be a perfect fit. But you got the Fiend Bray Wyatt coming over. You got Randy Orton, because they're going to keep that feud going with him and Drew McIntyre. Woohoo! They got Braun Strowman. One pick that I think was unique. That's Matt Riddle. I think at this point, him coming to Raw, they really got to do something. Matt Riddle is at that point. You're either going to put him in for the hunt with the United States title, or he's going to be, like I said with AJ, he's like the next in line for the WWE title, which you could see a good run.
Some of one of the bigger ones that stands out on this date that I see would be probably Bianca Belair going to SmackDown.
Yep.
Ray and his son going over to SmackDown.
Yeah.
And of course you got Mr. Murphy going over there.
Yeah.
I really wish they would do something with Murphy and stop wasting him. They broke up Heavy Machinery.
Yes. Otis and Tucker. Tucker is now over in Raw, and Otis is still on SmackDown. I think with this, if they're going to break them up, Tucker, I'd be starting to throw him. He would be perfect to be used with the United States title picture. I wouldn't want to put him into that 24/7. I don't want him to go goofy and just be used as a goofy side trick. This would be a perfect time.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I'm calling it right now. And don't throw stones at me, but that's exactly probably what's going to happen is Tucker will go over to Raw. This little shit with Otis will have this small storyline piece where they'll finish out with this Money in the Bank thing. And then there's a possibility, and it's just a sad but true reality of WWE, Tucker will get lost in the shuffle of Raw. You won't hardly see him. He'll slowly disappear off the show. And then you leave Otis there with nothing else because all he had was that one damn storyline. So now you split the tag team up. Otis don't end up getting over no more. He ends up becoming played out, and then he'll slowly disappear. And then there goes another good tag team. Yeah. Because for some reason, WWE hates tag teams. I don't know why. I don't know what they have against them other than I know Vince is not a big fan. But why? And it's just so weird that Vince is not a fan because tag teams things are something that's been going around for years. Like you think Vince being old school, like most old school guys like tag team matches. Like I just don't get why he don't like them. Like
and it's funny, the tag team division and the WWE. I'm not talking. Let's take away from the 2000s and even the let's say the Ruthless Aggression era prior to that. Even through the Attitude Era, tag teams were something that was needed. It helped put stability in your show. It was something that you could use. You could throw a couple tag team matches in your shows to lengthen things out. You've seen good tag teams from the New Age Outlaws to, LOD, Heart Foundation. Like we've said, there's been great tag teams. There have been great guys that come out of tag teams who become champions, Intercontinental champions. So it's a stable at this point in the WWE, and now into the 2000s, it's been almost like it's frowned upon. You're in a tag team, oh, that's bad. Like nobody looks at it the exact same anymore. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say nobody, because when I'm talking about nobody, I'm talking WWE. You look at other companies like your Impact and your AEW and New Japan that respect tag team wrestling to the nth degree and want to get it over. And then you look at something like NXT, who's looking to try to get tag team over there is more general than the singles competition.
It is, and that's one thing I love about AEW is their tag teams because I feel like WWE don't never have a tag team division ever. And that's one thing that AEW is doing that I love the most. I know a lot of people focus on Cody and Kenny and all that other stuff. And I love those guys, don't get me wrong, but I love their fucking tag team division. To me, it is the best thing going as far as tag teams go. Go ahead, Gene. Who was else we got on that day? Street Profits.
Street Profits, yeah, and with the Street Profits and the New Day were the other two, and they just flip-flopped the tag team titles. So you got the New Day becoming the Raw tag team titles, and then you had the Street Profits becoming SmackDown champions, tag team champions.
Yes, Kevin Owens and
Kevin,
Lars Sullivan returning. Of course,
some
people may not know he returned and then was in trouble by Sunday for apparently sending inappropriate messages.
The only thing I did not like, and I'm going to say this, so the prior tag teams on SmackDown were Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro. New Day shows up. The entire New Day comes together, and what happens within 5 seconds of them getting together? They become tag team champions again. Then they tell them, "Oh, we're splitting you up," which is fine with me. That I do believe Big E needs the push. Believe you me, Big E needs that singles run. But it was almost like, oh, New Day's back together. Let's drop the tag team straps on them again and just shit it on Shinsuke and Cesaro for all the work they did while they were gone. Like they just treat them like, oh, you guys were just holding these until these guys showed back up. I thought that was like,
did they send Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode back to SmackDown?
Yes.
What?
Yep.
See, that's the shit they do that don't make no damn sense. I swear they're so damn confusing sometimes with the shit they do. So they sent Apollo Crews over there too. So Apollo will not be beefing no more, I guess, with the Hurt Business. I'm kind of glad for that because I was kind of sick of seeing that shit. That shit was starting to get played out some.
So, like I said, I got them all just in a general list form here as well. So after Matt Riddle now being over there, you also have Jeff Hardy is over there. Jeff, I think this is just his end time. It's pretty much they're just, it was like that on SmackDown. So I think he enjoys what he's doing. He's getting some little time on screen. He's helping some guys get big. I think that's what they want him to do. You have Keith Lee on Raw as well, which I think I like the triangle they had there with Keith Lee, Randy Orton, and Drew McIntyre. I'd like to see more of it, but at the same time, I'd like to see Keith Lee being heavier developed. You got Ricochet, Elias is on Raw, Sheamus, Angel Garza, Roberto Carrillo, Drew Gulak, Tucker, Daba. I can never get that guy's name. Daba Kato.
Something like that. Before you go any further, Gene, we're gonna take a break and get a little word from one of our sponsors here. That is the Paradigm Shift. You can catch it every Wednesday at 9 p.m. with the whole Paradigm Shift team. Mr. Gene Emerson here, and of course, Mr. William D.H. Morgan, the Professor Rob, and of course, in spirit,
Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
in spirit, Mr. Brandon Randall, until he returns. That's a paradigm shift. I believe this week's topic was, I can't remember now.
The spotlight on Mr.
Paul Heyman.
Heyman.
Yes, that is correct. Mr. Paul Heyman is the topic this week. I'm pretty sure we'll go over his career pretty good and talk a little in depth about him. So make sure you catch that for sure. All right, Gene, go ahead and continue, bud.
Yeah. So you have Titus O'Neil. Now, this one was a shocker for me because what's Titus doing? Does anybody know what Titus is doing in these last few months?
Months. Hell, I've been asking that for years. Like, other than the last memorable moment I have of Titus is him tripping at that Royal Rumble. And that
the greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi. But the last time we seen Titus was at WrestleMania 36. He took over for Gronkowski, and he gave us the shock face of, "Don't tell me I just didn't see that." You know what I mean? And that was it. Like, so
he was in the underground some on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
He did a few little underground things. Nothing impressive. Carmella on SmackDown.
Yes.
I think we know why that is. I'm pretty sure her boyfriend had a little pull to do with that.
Yeah.
Don't separate us. So. You know, well, we know why. I mean, she don't know how to behave. So that's been that's been made pretty clear already in their relationship. So
and that's, I think that's also the reason why you see the Street Profits and Bianca Belair over on SmackDown as well. You know what I mean? Husband and wife combo.
Lucha House Party also were split up.
Yep.
That's I knew that was coming.
Yeah. So that
was one of those teams they played confusing roles with too, because one week they would argue, and then the next week they would be like they were one or something. They were fine, like they were before. They were all buddy. So I think that's just another bunch of guys they just don't know what the hell to do with. They don't have no clue what to do with them. They just got them there.
And Kalisto is now staying on SmackDown, and the rest of the other two are over on Raw for part of the men's tag team division. And you have Irizawa, Anaka Torizawa. I botched that Japanese name. I know I did. But the only reason why they got Drew Gulak and Tozawa is because the 24/7 championship is on Raw.
I see Peyton Royce is on Raw. Did they keep her? Did they keep Billy on Raw, or did she go?
They kept Billy. They put Billy on. Billy Kay is on SmackDown.
Okay, I like how they got. I like how they got the whole Retribution on Raw. That's what they got marked on here. It's just Retribution.
Yeah,
they don't work. They're rising up against the evil empire of the WWE machine, but yet they tell them what brand they're going to allow to be on. You're only allowed to be on Raw, and you know what the hell ever. That don't make no damn sense.
So Rick Moss, Arthur Reyes, and one half of the War Raiders, Eric, is going to be on Raw.
Yeah, that's because of the injury. That's why they actually didn't split them up. And let's not forget that Mr. Daniel Bryan will be on SmackDown this week in the Thunderdome, making a comeback again.
Yep.
So it's always pretty. I don't never mind Daniel Bryan being around because it just sets up for good matches.
That's right. But overall, Raw in the men's division, they have 22 singles competitors. Raw also got 8 women. So you have Asuka, the WWE Women's Champion, staying on Raw. You have Charlotte Flair, Naomi, Alexa Bliss, Lacey Evans. I think this is with Lacey Evans. I think this is the time. I put some key stars on a few of these. I think it's Lacey Evans is her time on Raw to shine.
You also got Shorty G. It says it was added to SmackDown roster on Monday. Yep. He went undrafted on Friday. Yeah. I really, God, man, they wasted him so bad. They never should have broke that damn tag team up.
No, again, there you go. Yeah, where they got those two, and they destroyed American Alpha. that did nothing for both of them. They stayed in mid card. They didn't move ahead. It was no good. It really wasn't at all. It was probably the worst move they could do. And then they started giving the worst gimmick of all was, oh, you're Kurt Angle's illegitimate son, and all. It's just like it was the worst thing. It just went downhill so fast.
Oh my good. Speaking of going downhill, make sure you tune in to Pinfall Productions and all the Total Nonstop pages to make sure that you catch me and our newest team member, Justin. I believe his last name was Hicks. So don't hold that to me, because I'm terrible with names. Period. As we go over this week's NCAA football, we'll be right back. No, we will not. Make sure I find the right damn thing. I swear to God, if Brandon don't get this shit organized. That is the Top 25 Gridiron. Catch it every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Central Time. All right, let's go ahead and continue there, Mr. Gene.
No problem. So like I said, I think it's about time now that you got Lacey Evans over on Raw. I think it would be perfect time. And like I said, there's two others I'd like to see get some shine, Nikki Cross and Peyton Royce. I think the three of those women being on Raw, you have Asuka, who is still, I would consider, a dominant type champion, even though that, Charlotte buried her and whatnot. But I think if you have those three working with Asuka, the four of them, I think that would be perfect people to work with or seen in that title picture. So, and then you have also Lana over there, which the Lana getting the title shot,
I honestly don't think she's going to win it. They're just going to bury her with it. I mean, they're just going to bury her. She's going to probably get embarrassed or something in some kind of way, or go through another damn table or something, whatever the case may be.
Something like that. And then Raw also had two women's tag teams. They have the women's tag teams: Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax, and Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. And they have 5 men's tag teams. So you got the New Day, the Hurt Business, Miz and John Morrison, Retribution, and Lucha House Party. So, and all in all, Raw came out on the more heftier side. So when you move over to SmackDown, we have 15 men for SmackDown. They don't do. So over on SmackDown, you got Roman Reigns, your Universal Champion, Sami Zayn, the Intercontinental Champion, Seth Rollins, Daniel Bryan, Kevin Owens. I hope they do more with Kevin Owens on SmackDown. The last time he was on SmackDown wasn't used correctly, but I think at this point it's the right fit. And we're Sammy's Intercontinental Champion. I think this would be your perfect time to really, again, focus on another Sammy Owens feud. I think it would work because they work well. And that stuff never gets stale. I know for them, that's like they've had hundreds of matches and they're trying to figure out how to keep it going. But to the common fan who hasn't seen their Ring of Honor stuff, this is your time to continue sort of that type pacing, and I think it would work. You have Jey Uso, Big E, Aleister Black. So we all thought Aleister Black was going back to NXT. No, he's now on SmackDown. I think that's the perfect spot for him, really.
They need to do something. Well, it's that time. Still that from the paradigm shift. We're gonna go do a couple little news stories here real quick. Yep. Jordan Devlin appears on NXT UK Cruiserweight Championship. That's pretty good, I think. You also have a hearing update in Sonya Deville's case. The subject gave Deville's address and statement. So that's pretty weird. That
Yeah.
getting a little bit more weirder and weirder and weirder. It just goes to show, like we talk about, that sometimes that wrestling fans are the most toxic, horrible fans in the world. It's pretty sad. Pretty sad that woman can't live her life in peace in her own house because of creeps like that. Of course, we mentioned last night, Mr. John Cena gets married to his longtime girlfriend. They said longtime girlfriend. I don't know what long time is to people, but that was not exactly a long time girlfriend, but okay. You also had Tommaso Ciampa, who's not happy with the Velveteen Dream on NXT. That's getting pretty interesting from what I hear. I got to sit down and watch NXT. I didn't get to watch it. I know I've seen a couple of comments here and there on some of the message boards here and there. So, let's see. Make sure that is going to be about it. Oh, and some news. There's rumors going around that WWE is likely to call John Cena and Undertaker for WrestleMania 37.
No, I'm going to say this right now. In this trying time with the COVID, I can see why they're trying to bring in big names to get appeal over on their WrestleMania. Out of the two names, I don't mind seeing John Cena if they want to bring him in and let him do like a makeshift small thugonomics thing and do something. I'm okay with that. Undertaker, no. At this point, he is done. Let the man ride off in peace with that good match.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wish they would do something with that shit, man. I mean, just the way it ended, you had that nice big, like I said, like you said, they had that nice big AJ style match, and then you had that nice big long special after that.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see, like, what more do you got left to prove? What more do you need to do? I mean, I understand that you love the entertainment part of it, and you love being in a ring, but when does it just become to the fact it's just insane and you're just destroying your legacy? To me, he's been destroying his legacy for years now. I'm just one of those. Yeah. I know a lot of people don't agree with that. Okay, it's him. He's been there for all that. He should be able to be the one to call it done. I've never said, he don't need to be the one to call it done, but in my eyes, he should have called it done a while back. He definitely went a little too long. And he made kind of an embarrassment out of himself a few times. And then he tried to recover, like even he said in that documentary, a couple of times, like that one time he come back and he did okay. And he should have just stopped there. That should have been where he stopped at. And then he had 2 or 3 embarrassing ass matches after that. Mm-hmm. The theatrical thing they could do, I guess if it's going to be that type of match, if they would do that, I know some people are sick of them, but to me, it's just so safe because I would rather them do this and then me just see 30-minute botch fest, horrible bullshit between him and Cena because Cena's got a little bit of ring rust and Taker can't carry a match no more. So it wouldn't be very interesting to me. I'm not interested in it.
To me, if you're gonna have Undertaker come back, let's see this. Let's see the cinematic Sting versus Undertaker match. I think that would work. That would work well. I would be okay with that. Because then that, to me, is not really tarnishing on his legacy. That's just him coming out because they need him. Because at this point, at this time, I get that. Let him do that. That's going to draw you some money. It was good when they did it at WrestleMania 36, so it would be good again. And you'd be able to feel like, oh, man, this is an awesome match. I would love this. Would have loved to see them go. It would give all us fanboys that what if, who would win, blah, all that. With John Cena, I don't want to see Undertaker John Cena going together. I'd rather see John Cena maybe take on one of your mid-card, like your higher-end mid-card guys as the Doctor of Thugonomics, bring them back in that sort of style, and have your Undertaker take on, like I said, Sting in a theatrical match. And there you go. That helps sells pay-per-view. That writes itself. Everything's good. Because, there are also talks about, Roman Reigns and The Rock for this up-and-coming WrestleMania. And I get why they're trying to throw these names out because, well, it's COVID. They're down a little bit. They've been hurting. They want the names. They want the prestige. They want to try to bring people back. I get all that, but don't do it to where it's going to hurt somebody. Do it where it's going to benefit. Everybody gets the benefit. Everybody gets the payday. And Undertaker would rather see it. And he said it even in his documentary. He'd rather help the company than hinder it by taking somebody's spot. He doesn't want to be there to take somebody's spot. So, you know what I mean? At least give them some respect if you're going to do it the right way.
Yeah, that's very true. Speaking of spots, there's another spot on Total Nonstop. Well, there I go, stepping up on Pinfall Productions. Another slot of another show that Mr. Gene here is on. Him and Mr. William H.D. Morgan. Go ahead, Gene. What day is that and what time is it?
That is Saturday, and it's at I do believe 9 Central Time, Central Time, and it's the Geek Gauntlet every Saturday. Here. Every Saturday, right here on the Pinfall Productions page. It's also on the Geek Gauntlet page, and you can find us on WGNN. I do believe Geek News Now is the sponsor as well. So, yes.
Yeah, let's run this one time for Mr. Geek Gauntlet and William H.D. Morgan. As Mr. Gene here said, you can get with Mr. William H.D. Morgan and Gene here every Sunday and Saturday. Get your geek on.
Saturday.
Get your geek on with those guys.
That's right.
They cover all kinds of cool ass topics. So let's see here. Anything? What else you got there, Gene? Anything else?
So we also have Apollo Crews is now on SmackDown. Otis has stayed. I think this is about time you got to start cashing in on that Money in the Bank. But here's the big thing. So for me, if you cash the Money in the Bank and let's say he messes up, or if he wins, which we know he's probably not, but I think you take Otis and he'd be a perfect guy to start going in for that Intercontinental title. I think that's where you'd want to place him at this point. You had Murphy, Kalisto, Lars Sullivan, King Corbin, and Shorty G round out your 15 men for SmackDown. Your 5 women is Bayley, who is the champion, Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair, Carmella, Natalia, Neidhart. You have Billie Kay, Tamina, and Selena Vega ran out your 5 women. Out of those women, I'd say the 3 that I would be looking at, we already know Sasha and Bayley are going to go through their thing. We know that. But I'd like to see Bianca Belair showcased a little more, and maybe time to see Bayley or Billie Kay really get a run, really get a good push. I think this would be an opportunity now that you split up the Iconics. Let's see what both of these women can actually do in a singles competition. You got 4 men's tag team for the Street Profits. You have Street Profits, which is one of them, Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, and Rey and Dominic Mysterio. I really can't see Rey and Dominic Mysterio being tag team champions.
But I don't guess I'd have a problem with it.
No, I wouldn't have a problem with it either.
If you're going to have Rey on the roster, might as well do something with him. And the kid's looking pretty good too. So
yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I was one of those that was kind of skeptical of him. I was like, oh my God, they're just going to put him over because he's Rey's kid. But the kid actually has some in-ring skill, man. You watch him. He's got a hell of a frog splash too. And
the one women's tag team that they have, the Riot Squad. That rounds out SmackDown. What they got, very, very different from Raw to SmackDown. Also when undrafted was Andrade and Mickey James, and then you have your list of people who didn't get in there due to the fact, and these are all pretty much injuries. Like Becky Lynch, we know she's off pregnancy. Jimmy Uso, he's off due to injury. Same with Ivar. Sonya Deville, as we already know, court case is going. Edge, that's one I think they're going to leave open. I think he's going to just show up wherever he wants to show up. You know what I mean? I don't really see him going to be drafted to one particular show. He's your, part timer, so he's not going to be like, oh, I have to have him on Raw, I have to have him on SmackDown. Jinder Mahal, I don't. Is he out on injury?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
been injured for quite a minute.
Yeah.
He had to have some surgery and repair a few things.
Yeah.
I think.
But that would be very interesting. Where after he gets healed, where you'd want to put him. I myself would say put him over to SmackDown. Do the fact
I'd
that
say put him
SmackDown
against Drew. Put him
that would
against
be
Drew. That's got history there and everything. Put him against Drew. That's two big ass monsters. They could just beat the shit out of each other. I think that might be pretty interesting, actually. If you give us the champion kind of type, Jinder Mahal.
Paul. That's
not
right.
yeah, not the damn joke one they kind of made after that. So.
Mhm. Also, you have Samoa Joe, but we know he's now permanently on commentary. So he's going to be on, I do believe, Raw. He's on the Raw commentary team. You have Mojo Rawley as well, due to the injury. Now, there would be somebody, I would say you'd want to put him over. Really, was Mojo. I would like to see him over on SmackDown if when he comes back.
I'd say cut him.
That would be nice.
I've been saying it forever. They don't know what to do with him. He can't get over no matter what gimmick they put him in. And it's not all Mojo's fault. Some of it is bad booking. Like the stupid shit they had him doing where he's talking in the mirror. Then it looked like he ended up getting in a fight with a blue ink pen and had the shit all over his face. That was stupid as hell too. Then they put him in these stupid angles. So some of it's not Mojo's fault, but I cannot stand the guy. I'll be honest with you. Oh my goodness.
Now, here was one that was unique that they put in. The Forgotten Sons. Are they all injured? Did they all get injured, or did they just get forgotten as their name?
Well, you had the one that come out and said unpolitical, I guess. Unpolitical correct terms.
Yeah.
And
didn't he back said one president and really posted his views on that?
I don't really know. I don't get into the politics too much on the show, but I don't know what all. I know he said a couple of things that people didn't like. I don't even remember what some of it was now. Yeah. But because he said that, it buried the other two also with him. So now they really don't know. Like, I remember the other ones were posting like they were pissed because of his comments screwing up their run because they were about to be pushed big.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the Forgotten Sons is about to be a deal. Like, there's about to be a badass little 3-man faction there and come in there and beat the hell out of some people. But that dropped. I mean, he did it right as they went to the main roster too.
It's like, how bad can it get? That's how bad it got. You know what I mean? If you were going to do it bad, he decided, I'm going to take down the ship right now. We're sinking. Yeah. We're going to hit that iceberg.
Let's talk a little bit of AEW real fast. You had FTR versus Best Friends on here. You had Sheeta versus Big Swole, Cody versus Orange Cassidy. You had John Moxley versus Archer, and then you had Mero and Kip Saban in action, all on AEW. Now I'll be honest.
Anniversary show.
Yeah, anniversary show. From what I read right here about the FTR match, I didn't see this one. It looks like it ended up getting pretty fire, so. Which is no shocker there.
No, their tag team division has always been fire, and you got Best Friends and FTR, which again, let's say it as it is. When the WWE let go of FTR, it was the best thing for FTR, and FTR has been. I've heard rumors they really want to be like the new age of old school tag teams. They want to go around different companies and gain titles. That's what they're looking to do, and with AEW, no better place you could do it, and to showcase. So it's going to be fun.
I like this little thing that they're doing with the Inner Circle and MJF. The whole. Now I'll ask you a question. Do you want in the Inner Circle? He's like, no, Chris.
No. Let me rephrase that. Do you want to be in the Inner Circle? Do you want to be in the Inner Circle? Do you want to be in the Inner Circle? That whole thing, I love it. Loved it.
I bought everybody the shirts. I mean, the little jackets, but he didn't have Sammy's to piss Sammy off. So, he's like, that was really an MJF move. Like you can see Jericho,
yeah. He goes, and then he was about to say that he was a jack. No, he's not a jackass. He's just smart.
That's smart. You had Cody versus Orange Cassidy for the TNT Championship. A lot of people really believe that maybe Orange might go over here. Didn't exactly happen that way.
Did that go to a draw, or did it?
It was a disqualification match. The time limit. Yeah, the time limit finish. Now that it says, I had missed some of it. I didn't get to see it all. I saw the first bit of it. Then I had to go do something. The time limit draw finish. It says a good way to keep both men looking good. We don't see this kind of very often. This is just one person's opinion on here, though.
I want to just talk about this just in a little bit. We've seen it once with Darby Allin, and it made Darby Allin strong with him and Cody. Now you see this here with Orange Cassidy and Cody, and it's all because, I get it, you don't want to drop the title. Cody just won the title. You don't want to drop it on to somebody else. I get that. You don't want to play, piggyback with it. But at the end of the day, does it really help everybody? Does it really make everybody look strong? Or is it that you just didn't want to, due to booking, you didn't want to make it look like you're playing hot potato with your title? So
they're already kind of doing that a little bit anyway. So you had John Moxley versus Lance Archer for the AEW World Championship, no disqualification. I'll be honest with you, I'm just out of this with the whole Lance Archer thing and the Mox thing. I'm just not feeling it. It's just not something I'm interested in. I know Mox is going to come out on top on this. I know they're not going to let Lance Archer have the title no time soon. So
they're going to try to build Archer a little bit more, and I'd rather see Archer. I would have rather seen Archer become TNT champion first before becoming AEW heavyweight champion. Do it that way because that balances everything out, and it makes your guy look like a monster, and he legit looks badass because he's won one singles championship. He's now jumping to another. That's, it builds that story, it builds that character up. Especially having Jake the Snake in your corner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Speaking of having someone in your corner, if you need a good old podcast for NFL, the Huddle has you covered. We talk about everything from fantasy football, the whole team, me, Mr. Randall here, and William H.D. Morgan, and the president, Mr. Del Presidente, Mr. Josh of Pinfall Productions. We'll be right back.
No, there ain't no stopping us. Fly without boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I be moving fast. Call me a shooting star. Let 'em know who you are. Flying up in a bar. Wish on a star. Time to show 'em who's in charge. Call me a shooting star. Didn't even get to cross.
That is the Huddle every Tuesday at 9 o'clock. Everything for the NFL, we have you covered. All right, Gene, what else do we got? Is that about going to wrap it up?
That's about going to wrap it up. Other than they had here Bo Dallas, Big Show, John Cena, Bill Goldberg, Ronda Rousey, and The Undertaker, and then they're in a pool, but they're not in a pool. Like, they're not eligible for really anything truly. I get with John Cena, he's busy, movies, acting. The one that shocked me was still that they had Ronda Rousey down as somebody that they still had. Because, like, Rhonda and all her lovely comments. You remember those comments, don't you?
Oh, my goodness. I don't even want to get started about her dumb ass. Well, just as a reminder that if you have the dream to be in the podcast business, you possibly have a page. If you are thinking of and you have a good idea of what your show could be, you have a page that is already up and running, and you're looking for a tag team partner in this whole thing, Pinfall Productions can help you in that. You can get with me. You can get with Brandon Randall, Gene Emerson. William H.D. Morgan, any kind of way, any one of us, and we will help you out. And Pinfall Productions will help you make all your podcast dreams come true.
That is correct.
1 second from our sponsor. That is Pinfall Productions. You can find us on the Pinfall page. You can find us on Pinfall on YouTube. You can also follow Total Nonstop Podcasts on YouTube, Total Nonstop Collecting on Facebook, along with Total Nonstop NCAA Fans. And all these shows are streamed and ran through those pages.
Mm-hmm.
So, anything else, Mr. Moose Gene Emerson?
Not that I can think of, only that if you want to really, hopefully, with this whole draft in a whole, if we can surmise, Raw got the better deal. I don't know if Fox paid to get extra guys or whatnot, but they came out looking the shiniest in this. SmackDown doesn't have as many, but I think really for the 2 hours that they're on anyways, I don't think they really need a very vast roster, but the guys that they do have, they better start booking them a little bit better. Now is the point that we, after this whole shakeup now, you have to start investing in certain guys. And then you've got certain guys, you can't do what you did to like an Aleister Black and just fade him into nothingness and expect the best when you bring him in and all of a sudden he's not performing the way you want him to. If you bad booked him from the start, it's not going to work over when you finally are trying to give him some okay booking, and then you wonder why nobody's getting into the character. I think at this point in a circumference, you have, 22 males on Raw, you have 15 males on SmackDown.
Yeah.
You got to be able to work your roster, work the magic, and work what you got, and that's pretty much what's needed. In total, did we really need this though? I really don't think so. You could have just easily said, "Hey, we're going to take this many guys and put them over here." I get it. You want to try to do a shakeup. I get it with the whole COVID, try to keep things interesting, but there's got to be something more that you can do than just the Thunderdome and expect everybody with the draft. Everybody's going to be like, "Oh yeah, we're going to buy into it."
Yeah,
it's just getting down to story now. It really truly is story and good booking. And if you got bad
it really
booking,
is.
watch it.
Next week we do not have a set show. If everyone will check out any of those pages that I mentioned earlier, there will be a poll. There will be another poll on there, just like there was this week. You can vote whether you want AEW, you want Raw, you want whatever you want. We put them all on there. So that's it for me. Thank everyone for watching, and y'all have a great night.
It's only the beginning. Step up to the next one, and never the kill.